Hey guys, what's up? Today what I got for you, we're going to be going over a giveaway that I'm doing for my 500 subscriber milestone. I told you guys that I would do one when I hit 500 and here we are. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can get in on this. We're going to get into it and start going over this stuff. First up in the pack is a 6 cents Swank 66X. And what we can take out, I'm going to take out and give you guys a good look at. That's that Swank 66 in that crimson craw color. Got that L-shaped bill for ripping through grass a lot better. Got that good 6 cents hardware on it. And of course that good 6 cents paint job. I don't remember what I was watching the other day, but there was a guy talking about 6 cents and their paint jobs and stuff. And he was saying that Casey, that I guess started 6 cents, started painting. He got his start by painting lures in his college dorm. And that's how he kind of got known in the business and was selling custom lures. And then he still does Casey's Customs on the website, on the 6 cents website, and you can bid on those auctions, and some of those prices get up there. People really like those custom baits. I would like to have a few to put up. I wouldn't be able to fish them for what they cost. You're talking $150 for some crankbaits, so it's a pretty cool thing. But to hear how he got his start and why they have these cool paint jobs that they do, because that's what he did in college and kind of how he made his way. Next up, we have this all-terrain tackle Grassmaster weed jig. I got this from Omnia. It's was one of their mystery baits that I got just to see what it was. I've got so many jigs that I figured I would just throw this one in here. This is a 3/4 ounce jig, and it's got a pretty good weed guard on it. They're supposed to be pretty good jigs. I've not used this brand in particular. I usually use either Dirty Jigs or some of the Berkeley or Strike King jigs. But this is something that you get out and throw around in the milfoil, hydrilla, pads. This is bulrushes, cattails, grass, and it's supposed to do really well in all that. So this is one you can get around and throw around in that stuff and not get hung up as bad when you're wanting to throw a jig in some of those situations. Next up, we have the mock baits. Mock Shad, and this is in the Ghost Bass color. I'll take this one out. Cool little realistic paint job on this dude. Got a little soft plastic tail. 2 joints, got a 3-piece body on here, and these things come with some actual pretty sticky hooks. They're not super big hooks, but with a smaller bait like this, you don't want to put too heavy of a hook on it, but seems to be pretty good hardware. I've not had any issues with any of the mock baits that I've fished, having to change hardware out right out of the package. And if you watch the channel, you know that's one of my big pet peeves, is having to change hardware out as soon as you buy a bait. I hate going out and paying anywhere from $8 to $18 for a lure and having to put new hardware on it. That just drives me absolutely crazy. So having stuff like this, excuse me, that has this good hardware on it and you don't have to swap it out is a really good deal to extend the life of that product without you, for the cost that you paid, without having to invest more into it. So after a while, you're gonna have to swap those hooks out. But having to do that right out of the gate just absolutely kills me. So not having to do that's great. Next, we're gonna get into a little old school. Some Zoom green pumpkin lizards. This is something that I've been throwing since I was a kid, and most people have. Zoom has been around for as long as I can remember. Everybody knows who Zoom is. But these things right here have taught me so many fish throughout my life. That is absolutely ridiculous. I fished these in creek growing up, the lakes and rivers. Really good bed fish bait, throwing these out, Texas rigging these, throwing them out, bringing them through a bed. The fish hate these lizards being in their bed, so that's something that's really good to get out there and catch them on. And then, let's see, where do I want to go next? We're gonna go with this ChatterBait. I got a ChatterBait Elite, and this is in the bluegill color. I'm not gonna take this one out because the packaging doesn't allow me to and be able to get it back in there. And then Axle Hybrid Jig. This is a 1/2 ounce jig in the black light color from 6 Cents Fishing. It's got that blue and purple in there with that black. Looks really good. Be able to use this as just a structure jig if you want, or you can use it as a type of swim jig. This one doesn't have the weed guard on it, so you want to be a little more careful where you're throwing this one. But these things do come through wood cover really well, come up and over it instead of trying to turn and snag on it. So put your favorite swim bait on the back of that thing, bring it through, and put some fish in the boat. Next up, we're going to go with the Spro Hunter 65 square bill. And this is a really cool color. It's called Citrus Shad. And these have the Gamakatsu hooks on them. And again, that's one of those where you don't have to swap it out. And I'm super excited for it. I've got to where I will not buy any baits that I have to swap out. So you'll see that as a trend here. Whatever I'm showing you is something, if I'm recommending it, you can use it right out of the package and you're ready to go. But this is a really, really cool looking. It's got this shimmer, that chrome scales on the side with the blue and kind of chartreuse lines on the top, chartreuse belly. And this is a 3 to 5 foot diving square bill. Get out and chuck this around some of them grass lines and any kind of rock, wood cover. Get up on those flats and throw this thing. And I can only imagine that it's gonna, this color, I've not used this color, but man, I really like it. I can only imagine that this is gonna draw some crazy good bites, especially, I like to throw this chrome in those sunny conditions. It stands out, and that's when I like to throw a lot of my, even my spinner baits with the silver blades and stuff. It just causes that flash to stand out a little more and causes that reaction a little better than normal for me. And I know some people that they're like, no, I only throw that on the cloudy conditions when I need that extra flash, but on slick, calm, sunny days, something about that chrome gets it done for me. So even on my top waters. So that's something to keep in mind, is getting out and trying that. Might be something a little different from the way you do it. Not saying one way works better than the other, but it works better for me, in my mind. So that's the way that I like to fish them. And then what do we got next? Let's go with these Yamamoto itchy floater worms. Well, you can see that, 10-inch worms. If you're not used to throwing these big 10-inch worms, the Zoom On Monster and the Zoom Mag 2s is the ones that I started throwing. This is a green pumpkin, got that big curly tail. And these things can do some damage. I really like to throw these around grass lines. I get in some of these backwaters and stuff and throw these around grass lines up toward the reeds and cattails and stuff. And even some around some laydowns and stuff, but they're also good fishing out really deep with these bigger 10-inch worms off rock piles or deeper grass or anything you get like that. So be able to Texas rig that, and you can swap out your weight for whatever size you need to get down to the depth that you need and get that thing out there, and it really triggers some good bites. I like that green pumpkin color, of course, but I also like my June bug colors. I do really good on those big worms on June bug. So get out and sling those big June bug worms around, those big green pumpkin worms, and hopefully, again, put more fish in the boat on the bank. I've caught them from both. So these aren't baits that shine out deep or shine shallow. These are kind of baits that you can do either way, and that's the way I like to do these giveaways, is that way if a bank angler wins, then they can still use these products, and if a boat angler wins, they can still use these products, or a kayak angler or anything like that. So I like to be able to put stuff in here that people can use, whether they're at the pond, whether they're at the lake, whether they're on the river, and kind of a mixed bag of stuff, and you can get out and fish all kinds of different ways and get out there and just have a good time on the water and not have to worry about not having something. I try to put an array of stuff in here, soft plastics, different depths, different techniques, so it kind of makes it a little mixture of fun fishing and get out and have a good time. Next up, I want to go with this mock patroller, and this is in the Ghost Birch color. And if you haven't fished one of these, it's a plopper style bait, like your Walker plopper, your Berkeley Chopo, or Walmart's got the Ozark Trail one, and Academy has their own. But this one, what stands out about this one for me is you can see right here in the tail that the cup in that tail is extreme compared to some of them. So this thing cups a little more water, it's throwing a little more water out, making a little different sound, and these don't tend to roll over on you as bad as some of them, and which I know they all have their set retrieves where once you hit a certain speed they do want to roll, and not saying that this one doesn't at all of them do tend to a little bit, but some of them are worse than others, and this one's done pretty well for me. But getting out, again, the routine for me is grass lines, bank shade lines, and the color line where the depth changes, where the sun doesn't penetrate anymore. So you might have, your water goes from like a bluish color to a dark green color or something, and that's where you have the light from the sun is coming down, and you've got the penetration going all the way to the bottom. But then once it gets to where it can't, that water actually changes color there. And if you get on like Google Earth and stuff, you can see that real big. And that's one way to notice and kind of judge where you're at. And then when you're out on the water, you can see that a little better after you kind of know. So those color lines, those fish use that kind of as a shade line. So they'll get down in that color line and ambush out into the clear water. And that really is a key place to make sure you look and target these fish, because a lot of fish congregate there. And then next up, we've got this Zoom Salty Super Fluke in the white pearl. And again, this is one of those old school baits everybody knows. Zoom flukes set the standard for a long time. And the thing about these is you can either nose hook them and use them as a soft jerk bait, or you can Texas rig them. But you want to make sure that hook is extremely straight, dead perfect. That affects the action of this bait so much. But getting out, and there's so many different ways so many different areas to fish these flukes. And you rig these things weedless and they come through the grass really, really well. But around those grass edges where those fish like to sit and ambush, again on that color line, on those shade lines, throwing it up under the brushes and stuff, throwing it up under docks, those shade lines of the docks, you can skip these things a mile. So being able to get up under the docks way back in the back and catch those fish that a lot of people aren't getting to because they can't skip, it really triggers some bites that you wouldn't normally get. So being able to have something like this that you can get up under there and impart a lot of action on is really nice, and be able to get out and get those bites. And then next up is one that I hadn't really fished much until this year, and I really do like this worm. And this is the 6th Sense Clout. I've got it in a few different sizes and a few different colors. This black and blue with the blue on the tail has done really well. This is the 6.3, but you can wacky rig these things, you can Texas rig these things, weighted or unweighted. And if you Texas rig them, they come through the grass really, really well. or I've not tried Nico rigging these like in the grass, but I would assume that it would work pretty well too, as long as you use like a weedless Nico hook. But Texas rigging those, they come through the grass really, really well. And that black and blue color in that grass, where it gets a little dark, stands out and does an excellent job at triggering bites. So it says using the 6 cent stout hooks, wacky hooks, or the juggler hooks. That's one cool thing about, they actually put it right here, that what kind of hooks you can use with it. So that's kind of cool to see that on there. But getting out, and I'm not a big wacky worm guy. I usually do Texas rig mine, so being able to put them on those jugular hooks or those stout hooks. The 6 cent stout hooks is just a EWG hook, and the jugular hook is your standard kind of worm hook. So if you don't have the 6 cent hooks, any of those hooks is going to work, of course. So get out and Texas rig these things, or if you like wacky rigging, the actual O-rings fit on these things really well. I struggle to slow down enough to fish a wacky rig. And so I'm out power fishing, just running and gunning, throwing and throwing and throwing. So slowing down is something that has been extremely hard for me. I continue to struggle with, but I continue to try. And when I do, a lot of times I do get bites, but it's just painful for me to sit there and pitch out. That's why I bass fish versus catfishing, because I can cast and retrieve, cast and retrieve. So that's one thing that I really like about bass fishing, is that it keeps me busy and going all the time. Keeps my ADHD fired up and not getting bored so bad out there. And then next up, we're gonna go with this Spro McRip 85. And this is a really, really cool looking little bait. And this color is called Cellmate. And we're gonna pop this one out and let you guys see it, because this color I absolutely love. This is an 85 millimeter length bait. It is a 1/2 ounce, and it's a little rip bait, kind of like a jerk bait, 8 to 10 foot diver. But that color is just really cool looking. You got that red and orange on the bottom. It's got a lot of shimmer in that. There you go, you can see it a little bit. I've got my computer over here so I can actually see and make sure you guys are getting a good look at what we're doing here, but using it as a monitor. But this thing has a lot of sparkle and glimmer in it, but a really cool looking little bait. I've got a couple of these. I haven't really fished, so I'm gonna get out and throw some of these around. I've got them in a few different colors, but that's one that, again, I haven't really thrown around a whole lot. I threw one around a couple days when I was throwing a jerk bait, but the jerk bait bite wasn't very good, so hopefully get out. Again, it's got those Gamakatsu hooks on it as well, so that's one good thing. Spro makes a really good product, so getting out and catching those fish on these, you got a little more confidence in getting that fish in, getting them hooked with that good hardware. But I'm gonna wrap this up. I want to go over how to enter this giveaway. What I want you to do is leave a comment down below on which of these is your favorite baits, or if you've tried one of these, how you like to fish it. Or what would help me out the most is leave me a comment about what kind of content you enjoy seeing on the channel, like what we're doing currently that you enjoy, or what you would like to see in the future. I know the last video I asked for that, and somebody mentioned that underwater footage, and the water is getting super, super clear. So I'm gonna be able to get out and do some of that underwater swim bait footage and get some of that stuff done. So keep looking forward to that. We've got that coming up. I've got that big prize that I won coming. It should be here. They're a little behind on shipping it because we had ICAST. It's coming up next week and stuff, so they of course are getting ready for that. I can't expect those guys to push ICAST to the side and get my order together. So I appreciate them just doing these giveaways like they do, and the fact that I won that, but I'm super excited to share with you guys what is coming my way, because it is massive and it really made my day. It was a surprise. So I look forward to sharing that with you guys. Hopefully within the next couple weeks I'll get that. Hopefully when they get back from ICAST they'll get it shipped out. But anyways, I got off track there. So what we're gonna do is I want you to leave me a comment down below about your favorite bait here, or something you would like to see on the channel. Some kind of content that would help you to be a better angler, or just up your knowledge of something that you already know. Any kind of bait reviews, anything like that, any kind of kayak walkthroughs, kayak setups, kayak rigging. I do all my own rigging and all my own stuff on my kayak, so I could help some people out that way. Anything like that that you guys would like to see, leave me some comments down below and we'll see what we can do. If it's something that I can make happen, get it out here for you guys, then that's definitely something that I will consider doing, because my goal here is to help anglers on the water and help some new anglers learn stuff that they don't know, and hopefully help some kids to learn some stuff and get out on the water and catch some fish. Because if we don't build these kids up, then we're not gonna have a future of angling. So being able to get those kids out there on the water is key. But leave me some comments down below on what you would like to see. The way we're gonna do this, today is July 14th, so 3 weeks from today, I'll probably put the video out on a Saturday. So you've got three weeks roughly to comment on this video, and once you leave your comment, you'll be entered in. I'll do a random comment generator online. It goes through, it randomly selects a winner. That's the way I've done it in the past. And then I will announce who won it and show your comment on that video 3 weeks from today. And when I put that video out, that's how you'll know you won. I'm not gonna come through and I'm not gonna comment on your comment and say, hey, you won, because that's the way a lot of people get scammed. And I'm not doing that. So if someone comments on your thing saying that, do not try to contact me until I do not contact them if they send you some weird email, but until you see your name on the video that is released in 3 weeks. And the way that will work is I will come on here and I will say, one of the past winners was Roger B. So I'll say, Roger B, your name was drawn. This is what his comment was. And then I'll tell you how to contact me, which is the email that is on my channel page, or you can contact me on Instagram at Tales from the Creek. If you guys have any questions, you can always reach out to me there, and I try to make sure that I answer any questions that I get. That's one of the easiest way to communicate with me is through Instagram, because their messaging system works really well. But we will do that, and then I will have you come back on and verify your original comment, and then I'll get everything shipped out to you. It's went pretty smooth in the past. Not had any people try to do any scamming or anything, but a lot of the giveaways that I see on other channels and stuff, that has been happening quite a bit. So just make sure your bases are covered and that your name's said in that video, and then you can reach out to me and we'll get you squared away. But I just want to take a minute to thank you guys for tuning in, and for those of you that are subscribed. We hit that 500 subscriber mark. I'm going to do another one of these when I hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, and it will be a bigger one. So hit that subscribe button, hang around, leave me some comments, and you guys interacting with these videos, commenting, liking, subscribing, that helps the channel to grow drastically. So I really appreciate that. You guys keep that up. Being able to communicate back and forth with you guys in the comments, that's fun. I've learned quite a bit myself in the comments. Some people have told me about some products that I didn't know and I went out and got and absolutely love. So I appreciate that, and just keep it up, guys. I can't thank you enough. That's why I do these giveaways. This isn't any kind of sponsored video. This is from me as a thank you to you guys. All this stuff will be linked down below in the description, and also I will link a lot of the normal gear that I use. I will have a link down there for these Daiwa Tatulas that I like so much, and it's a pretty hefty discount on those Daiwa Tatulas. The only catch is you're ordering it from Japan. So it doesn't come in 2 days. It usually comes in about 2 weeks. But you're getting a $190 reel for usually about 110 bucks, sometimes 114. That price fluctuates a little bit. So if you guys are interested in trying out those Daiwa Tatulas, I can do that on the, I believe the SVs and the regular Tatula 100s. Both are excellent reels, and possibly the listen at me here, Tatula 200s. And I can only say Tatula so many times before I start to get tongue tied. But so I will link those down below and get you that lower price on those. And again, these are affiliate links, so I do earn a small commission off of what you purchase, but that helps to put money back into more baits to be able to do this giveaway and to do these reviews and stuff. But I appreciate it and look forward to what we got going. You guys have a good one.